Unbelievable comeback. Jessica Pegula stuns world number one Aryna Sabalenka in epic Wuhan Open final showdown. Trophy fire. The night air over Wuhan was electric. A humid October evening cloaked the city as the lights of the Optics Valley International Tennis Center glistened like stars fallen to earth. The crowd murmured in anticipation, their excitement simmering beneath the neon haze. This was it, the Wuhan Open 2025 final, a clash between the unstoppable force and the immovable calm. Aryna Sabalenka, the world's number one, and Jessica Pegula, the resilient American who had quietly carved her legacy on grit and composure. In the players' tunnel, Pegula stood motionless, hands tucked into her jacket, eyes focused on the blue court just beyond the curtain. Across from her, Sabalenka bounced on her heels, a picture of raw aggression and confidence. Two players, two philosophies of tennis, about collide. Sabalenka's season had been nothing short of monstrous. Grand Slam titles, WTA 1000s, and a dominance that made her name synonymous with power. She was a hurricane. Pegula, meanwhile, was a slow-burning flame, steady, analytical, unflappable. She wasn't the loudest nor the flashiest. But when others crumbled, she endured. Tonight, though, she faced a mountain, one few had dared to climb. Opening fire, Sabalenka's domination. The match began with the intensity of a thunderstorm. Sabalenka, serving first, unleashed a 193-kilometer-per-hour ace that whistled past Pegula's racket. The Belarusian roared, pumping her fist. Her eyes blazed. Pegula simply nodded, her poker face betraying nothing. Within minutes, the first set was a masterclass in power. Sabalenka's forehand was explosive, her returns venomous. Pegula struggled to absorb the pace, her counterpunches landing short. Sabalenka broke early, 3-0 for the 1, 5-2, and the first set seemed inevitable. The scoreboard flashed, 6-2 Sabalenka. The crowd roared approval, their cheers bouncing through the arena. Sabalenka's dominance was total. Pegula sat quietly in her chair during the changeover, towel draped over her head. She closed her eyes, breathing deeply. Somewhere deep inside, she replayed the points, not in panic but in calculation. The storm had come. Now she needed to find her rhythm within it. The spark, Pegula's tactical shift. The second set began differently. Pegula walked onto the baseline with a new lightness in her step. The first rally extended to 22 shots, both players trading heavy ground strokes, testing each other's patience. Sabalenka went for the line. Out! Pegula's fist pumped subtly. It was the smallest crack in the armor, but Pegula saw it. She began slicing, redirecting, drawing Sabalenka forward. The tempo changed. Pegula's rhythm was hypnotic, slow, then fast, deep, then angled. Sabalenka's aggression began to misfire. At 3-2 Pegula, a pivotal moment arrived. A grueling rally ended with Pegula's backhand passing shot painting the sideline. The crowd gasped. Even Sabalenka's glare softened for a moment, as if acknowledging brilliance. Pegula didn't smile. She turned away, ice in her veins. She knew better than to celebrate too soon. The set stretched longer, 4-3, 5-4, deuce after deuce. Sabalenka's serves were still thunderous, but Pegula's returns began to bite. The once erratic American found her zone, moving with mechanical precision. And then, on Sabalenka's set point, Pegula delivered a forehand winner down the line, a shot that silenced the Belarusians' roar and sent the Wuhan crowd to their feet. Moments later, Pegula broke serve. Set score, 7-5 Pegula. The match was tied, and suddenly the energy in the stadium shifted. What was once a coronation had become a battle. Flashback, the making of a fighter. As Pegula toweled off before the final set, her mind flickered back to the years that forged her resilience. She wasn't supposed to be here. Not really. Born into a wealthy family. Skeptics had often dismissed her career as privilege rather than perseverance. But few knew the truth. The lonely practice sessions, the heartbreak of early losses, the night she spent questioning if she belonged. She had been told she was too late, too steady, not dangerous enough. And yet, here she was, taking on the world's number one. In those quiet moments between sets, Pegula's father's words echoed in her mind. You can't control the storm, Jess. You control how you stand in it. The decider, war of nerves. The final set began at midnight local time, but the crowd showed no signs of fatigue. They could sense history brewing. The scoreline reset to love all, and both players stepped onto the baseline for what felt like a war of wills. Sabalenka opened with a break of serve, punctuated by an almighty scream. She was back, fists clenched, hair damp with sweat. The power returned. Pegula nodded, unshaken. Then something changed. Pegula began reading Sabalenka's serves, anticipating direction, blocking back rockets that should have been unreturnable. She was dissecting Sabalenka's rhythm like a chess player dismantling a king. At 2-2, Pegula broke back with a forehand winner that kiss a line. The rally that followed, 32 strokes of pure defiance, became the heartbeat of the match. Sabalenka crushed forehands. Pegula retrieved with impossible angles. Backhand slice, cross-court winner, another roar. Pegula's movement became art, fluid, efficient, almost meditative. Come on, she shouted after holding for 4-3. It was the loudest she'd been all night. The collapse, Sabalenka's breaking point. Sabalenka's frustration began to boil. Double faults crept in. Her once mighty forehand began to miss by inches. Every grunt turned into a growl of disbelief. Pegula, in contrast, was a mirror of calm. She barely blinked between points. At 5-4 Pegula, the moment came. Sabalenka serving to stay in the match. 15-30. A blistering rally ensued. Sabalenka pounded 3 cross-court forehands. Pegula chased each one, slicing, redirecting, waiting. Finally, Sabalenka went for broke, a full-blooded forehand down the line. Out! By an inch. Legacy more than a trophy. Pegula's Wuhan victory resonated beyond the final score. It symbolized something deeper in tennis. A triumph of intelligence over power, patience over panic, faith over fear. Commentators called it the comeback of the year. Fans flooded social media with hashtags like #PegulaPower and #NeverCountHerOut. Videos of her clutch points hit millions of views overnight. Even Serena Williams tweeted, "That was vintage grit from Jess." Calm, confident, classy. Back home in Buffalo, her parents watched in tears. They had seen their daughter fall countless times. First-round exits, injuries, heartbreaks, but never stopped believing. Epilogue, the sound of silence. Later that night, long after photographers had gone, Pegula returned to the empty court, trophy in hand. She stood under the still lights, her reflection shimmering on the hard court surface. She sat down near the baseline and traced a finger along the white line where her final shot had landed. The silence was beautiful. No cheers, no noise, just peace. She whispered, "Worth it." The Wuhan air was still thick, but now it carried something different, an echo of resilience. Somewhere in that vast Chinese city, fireworks cracked in the distance, faint but steady, like a heartbeat. And in that moment, Jessica Pegula smiled. She wasn't just a winner of the Wuhan Open. She was proof that patience, persistence, and poise could still conquer even the loudest storms. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, and share. Till next time.